Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I have done quite a few beer reviews, and I'm still finding the time to try and edit them. And I've been doing a few here and a few there, and there's plenty in the phone that I've got to edit and whatever. But I'm going to prioritise this one. I'm going to try and get it done before the weekend. It's currently now Thursday night, so that's going to be difficult. But I can't believe I have never had this beer before. I mean, I'm trying to think back to when I first really started getting into the craft beers. And I think it was when the Tap and Barrel opened, really, and they sort of started to bring in. I think Pentridge Brewery was probably one of the first sort of real craft beers that I tried, and that sort of like opened my eyes and my taste buds and my nose to all these amazingly crafted sort of like real hop forward beers as well. I've always been a traditional ale drinker, but oh my god, my route down the craft beer world has been absolutely like ridiculous. I've really enjoyed it. So anyway, I've got this beer to share with you now, and I almost feel like, I don't know, I sort of thought to myself, is it worth me reviewing it? Is it worth me talking about it? Because there's going to be that many reviews out there. I've not looked. I've checked a couple and had a little watch, but there's going to be that many reviews. But I think I just owe it to myself. And Janie says to me, "Go and do it. Go and talk about it in your own way." And so yeah. So here we go then. My little chat about this beer. I'll just go and get it. So here we go. Here is the famous, from Verdant Brewery, Verdant, however you want to say it. I've heard a lot of people say it in different ways. The famous Putty beer. Now, over the years, I don't think this has changed, but I think the labels have changed. I kid you not, our hands up in the air, I didn't even know anything about this until it started going crazy on Instagram, and everybody's like, it's putty time and putty time, and I'm like, what is this beer? And I've seen all this can label here, and I thought, well, okay, it's looking like putty. Now, I've used putty over the years in earlier days when we used to make sliding sash windows and things, and we putty point and things like that. It's lovely, soft, and you can like manipulate it, and it's like, and they say that whole saying like putty in my hands. So I guess that this was going to be really sort of like nice and sort of smooth and decadent, But anyway, I had one last night, and I thought, wow, that is a different kind of beer. So anyway, I'm going to crack it out, get it into the can, and I'm going to explain and talk to you about this beer that you all know about. But I tell you what, if you don't know about it, and all I'm going to say to you, right, I've just got to remember how this poured last night, because I think it pours sort of like quite easily, and then suddenly it just goes a little bit crazy. I've got it good. I've got it good this time. The aroma's off this. It's such a dank beer. It's unbelievable. But yeah, if you happen to be watching this and thinking, "Whoa, you're talking like everybody's reviewed this. I don't know nothing about it." Then brilliant. Welcome to this. Literally, this beer that everybody's mad about. Like they say, like. Is it that it's a hype, isn't it? It's a big, exciting beer. There's a big hype around this beer. And is it all that it's cracked up to be? Well, all I'm going to say to you is, if you've never had a dipper before, if you've never had a double IPA, double IPA, this probably isn't your first one to try, because this is almost like, how can I say it? This is almost like a bit like you need to be a professional dipper drinker to actually like get your lips around this, because it might just shock you a little bit. I like a dipper. I've got a tipper in the fridge. I've never had a triple IPA. I don't think I have. I may have had one, but I don't think it was the best. I won't mention the brewery, but this, as far as a double IPA goes, is proper in your face. So yeah, so look how thick that is. It is so thick. It looks like, literally, it looks like a diluted thick, like orange juice, like a diluted orange juice sort of colour. What other colours could you say? It's just a very light orangey colour, isn't it? And it just looks thick. You can't. There's no way you can see through that. It's so opaque. It's unbelievable. It's got a really lovely, soft, white, pillowy head, and the smell is just pure, pure. I mean, I sort of get a peachy smell, a pineapple-y smell in there. There's so many smells, tropical fruit. It's almost like a waste of time talking about the different fruits. There's every fruit imaginable in that. Tropical fruit, pineapples, grapefruit, mango, peach. You know, there's everything in there that you can imagine. You know, I don't think there's anything left out with the 3 hops that are in there. So we've got, the hops are Azaka, Galaxy and Mosaic. And they're both in the hot and the cold side. So literally, now I've heard about this beer lots over the last few weeks, and Andy Dunn from the Dun Inn, who is one of the threesome of the Ale and Audio podcast, he has said about this beer. Now, this beer, when you first get it, drink it, enjoy it, but then leave it, buy a couple of cans, then leave a can for a few months till around about May time. And he says, and then drink it when it's had chance to sort of develop in the can. Now, the thing is, I can sort of get that because the Galaxy hop can be quite intense. What I've heard of, like the Galaxy hop, can be quite an intense hop. And I've sort of like, I've got a little book of hops, so I tend to have a try and research the hops that are in beers and things. I'm trying to learn about all the hops so I can just get them a bit instilled. So the 3 hops in this are giving all them tropical fruit flavours, all them sort of like stone fruit flavours, things like that. But also the Galaxy hop can be quite intense, it can be quite aggressive. So it then actually says in this book of hops that like it can be intense at the start, but then it can settle down as the beer ages. So I can sort of get where Andy Dunn's saying. So part of his advice, check him out on Instagram as well, and he's on the Ale and Audio podcast. I say that because I've actually got the t-shirts on tonight, but it's a bit cold, so I'm like, I might just leave the jacket open a little bit. But there we go. Yeah, so he's saying like let it basically settle down, and then you'll get a different experience in May. So I bought 4 cans of this. I had one last night, one that I'm going to talk about now, and one that I'm going to leave till May, and then one that I'm going to leave until the sell-by date on this can, which happens to be best before the 15th of the 7th, 24. So literally, and you know, this was canned on the 15th of the 1st, 24. So this is really, really fresh. Really fresh. This is as fresh as you're going to get it. So you're going to be getting, if that Galaxy hop is a bit intense, a bit aggressive type of hop, it needs to settle down a bit. So I'll bring this to you again in May, and then I'll probably bring it again in July on the actual date that it goes out of date. So I'm sure that there's probably like a little bit of nice yeasty goodness going in there, but it's so thick you can't even see it. So yeah, it's really, you can smell the smoothness in this as well. Now I know that this is a really extremely hopped beer. It is really dank. It's really hot. The nose is just so inviting. Let's just get in there. I know what to expect. I had one last night. Cheers, everybody. Wow. I've heard this beer called the best beer in the world as far as dippers go, and I think the Verdant Brewery, where that Bourbon aged stout, that Bourbon County stout I did, I think that like the Goose Island, the original Goose Island Brewery, they were the ones that invented the barrel aged stout, and I think these sounds to me like they were the ones that really brought the double IPA really forward. A world class beer, full and packed, full, solid, lovely, nice pineapple taste. I've tried to eat various fruits so I can sort of recognise the fruits, because I think, to be honest with you, you've got to literally eat so much fruit to remember all the actual flavours. And I'm sure You know, there is definitely like peach. There's mango there. There is all these sort of fruits. I'm getting pineapple quite well there. Tropical fruits, really lovely smell, but really, it builds in your mouth. This beer is not one. Oh, it's not one to put in your mouth and just drink it. That's almost like eating a really good quality meal, like you're drunk and having a McDonald's burger. You know, you wouldn't sit there and have a nice meal and just be like, gone. You want to get that. You want to get that food in your mouth. You want to chew it. You want to let all the flavours go around before you get it into your blending stomach acid, don't you? This, you do not want to be chugging this. This is 8% ABV. Is it? Yeah, 8% ABV. This is a beer to be savoured. I savoured it last night. It took me about an hour to drink it. Tonight will be a little bit different because I don't want to be spending an hour talking to you guys, although I do waffle, as you know. But as you swill this beer in your mouth, it just builds and builds and builds, and it gets really intense. And I think that is coming from that Galaxy hop. If that's what the hop is when it's really fresh and it's in the beer, it is quite intense. It is really powerful. And hops in here are really powerful. But it's a real... All I can say about this is I find it difficult to pick out all these individual fruits. I can definitely taste a pineapple in there. You know, I can taste like the peach. I can taste peach in this. You know, remember when we used to have them the peaches in the syrup? Well, I did as a kid. You always have like them nice peaches with the syrup. So, but I've also like, you know, when you have a proper peach, a fresh peach, I'm getting that sort of like that taste. Pineapple, definitely. Tropical fruits. There's so much. It's like a big glass of overripe fruit. It's absolutely magical. The mouthfeel is stunning. If you swirl it around your mouth and ignite the carbonation in this, it is absolutely stunning. Oh, there's no more left in there. It really is. It's so sort of like silky smooth in your mouth. It is real like putty. I can see why they call it putty. I mean, you know, it is really just sort of like, oh, it's putty in your hands. It's putty in your mouth. It is absolutely, and they do say, don't they, like you know, like putty in my hands, and we all know what that means. And this beer is just absolutely incredible. And I can, oh, let's see, I've got some like nice, powerful, sort of orange zest there. Really, really hit me. The other thing that's really quite big in this is that pine again, that real pininess. And I think you get that piney bitterness as well. It's not an overly bitter beer at all. It's not. But like there is that piney bitterness, that sort of like resinousness about it as well that you get in these sort of beers when you got this much hop smash. It's with this mic on, and I keep going cockeye and I'll just check it's on. You can probably hear every swill, every slurp that I'm doing. The alcohol sits there really nice. It doesn't lend itself to an alcoholic beer. And that sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? It doesn't lend itself to being an alcohol forward beer. It's very easy to drink. You'd probably give this to somebody if especially if you're a New England IPA drinker. Or just a standard IPA drinker, and then someone gave you that, I think it'd shock you. If you've never had a dipper before, this would absolutely shock you with the power that this thing's got. This is an absolute powerhouse of hops in here. Three magical hops. You know, if you read up about them hops, they've got some really good bittering qualities as well. And just really massive flavours, all citrusy, tropical fruit sort of flavours. All that mangoey, peach, stone fruit flavours. Between them three, they're giving you so much into this beer. the dankness of it. Every sip is different. This is the thing. Every single sip is different. Right then, I got that real sort of like big piney hit. Then I'll have another sip and I'll get like an orangey zesty hit. It just depends how long you let this beer ravel around your mouth and how long you let it tickle your tongue, tickle your senses. If you throw it down your neck, you're not going to get a lot from it. So yeah, if you chuck it down your neck, you really just hit that sort of like back of the throat bitterness type of thing, which isn't very strong anyway. The bitterness in this is not very strong at all. But it is, it is a smooth bitterness. Massive, brilliant, hopped, huge, juicy, really sort of like talked about beer that I can't believe this is the first time I've heard of it. Everybody was going on about it on Instagram, and then I contacted Chanel at Harbour Stores. I said, are you getting any of this putty? And he went, yes, it's coming in. How many do you want? So I said, well, I'll have 4. I went over there and I got 4 cans of it. And you know what? I don't even know how much it's cost, but I know it ain't cheap. I know it isn't cheap. It was probably anywhere between £8 and £10 for the can. I don't know. I just grabbed a few more beers. I was in a rush, and I just grabbed it. I knew I was going to have to pay the money for this sort of quality of beer. So yeah, it's probably not a beer that everybody's going to go out and buy. But trust me, you don't have to buy 4 cans of it. You can buy one. It was well worth the experience just to buy one. So yeah, if you want a massively hopped, really, and you get, it's really nice, lovely, right on the back there, you get that real nice piney hit. It's so smooth. It's so... my wife calls it like a stinky beer. She says that stinks. Yes, it does. It is danky and it is smelly. But for somebody like me who loves these type of beers, it smells great. As soon as you crack that can open, it's like opening the Ghostbusters trap and letting out the ghost. It's like the aroma just hits you straight in the face. And do you know what? I'm really looking forward to having this both in May and in July, just to see, because I just think it'll just calm down a little bit. But there's nothing to knock about this beer. This is an absolutely... It doesn't make any difference to what I say about this beer. It's well loved. It's well known. Everybody who's tried... I don't think there's anybody that's going to go and buy this beer that's tried it that's going to go, I don't like that, because we're all going out to buy this beer because of what it is, and it's a dipper, and it's a massively hopped, and it's like got great hops in there. It's been brewed by a brilliant brewery. It's a famous beer. I think it was about 2017, the first brewery. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or was that when the brewers started? I don't know. I think it was 2017. I watched a little video the other day at the brewery, and they were talking about this, and I think like one of the guys there wanted to make this a core beer, but then they chatted this, no, it's coming out once a year. So it seems like once a year was, Putty's coming out, and everybody's going mad. I'm thinking, wow, what's this beer? And now I know. So if you've not seen this beer before, then here it is. Welcome to this beer. Go and buy it when it comes out next year, because I tell you what, I think you've got zero chance of getting it now. Absolutely, it's sold out at the brewery. I think you'd be very lucky if your bottle shop has got any of these left. Every sip, different experience. Even the mouthfeel changes every single time. It just keeps giving. I can't say that I've had a better dipper, to be honest with you. I just can't. super piney. Super mouthfeel. So easy to drink. Absolutely beautiful. Spot on. Right, okay, so I've been Speno, and yeah, I didn't really know how to describe that beer. I really didn't, because I think you could have 20 people describe that beer differently, but all I'm saying is every single passion fruit you can think of is in there. There's just so much flavour going in there, and yeah, I think everybody that drinks this will pick out different flavours. But for me, it's just what I really like, where there's nothing really stands out so much. The pininess does, but it's just a big bowl of overripe fruit. Absolutely brilliant. I've been Speno. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with me, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.